Hey there, I'm David, and this is your lifestyle guide to support your meditation practice. There are 13 videos in this series. This is video 12, Self-Awareness and Self-Control. Self-awareness is our ability to step back and to look at ourselves. It's the ability to see ourselves objectively. We can do this through self-study, introspection, and reflection. Willpower, then, is our ability to regulate our behaviors so that we can demonstrate greater self-control and self-discipline. Self-awareness on its own is not much good without willpower. And by the same token, willpower is best when it's guided by self-awareness. So the two go hand in hand. As a result of our own self-awareness, we create standards for ourselves. And these standards are ideas of who we think we should be, how we should behave, how we should think, and how we should feel, and so on. So these standards act as a framework or a set of rules that we expect ourselves to live by. And quite often they're heavily influenced by society and the people who've raised us, our parents, our teachers, our peers. But through self-study, we're able to establish a set of standards which are of value and importance to us on a personal level. Self-control will allow us to adhere to our standards, to adhere to our values. And self-control is benefited by supportive habits and routines, and by exercising willpower. Sometimes our subconscious tendencies can cause us to slip, and this is why it's important to understand the nature of the mind and to nurture emotional and spiritual maturity. The practice of meditation is a discipline which is dependent on self-awareness and self-control. We must discipline and gain mastery over the physical, mental, and emotional nature. And through this practice we gain an understanding of how the subtle movements in the mind, and sometimes they're very subtle, can give rise to emotions. And then these emotions trigger off ideas and thoughts and opinions and memories, and all of these can lead to restlessness. Self-control is enhanced by self-awareness. If you were asked to sit in a chair and sit still without moving, and there was nobody in the room, then maybe after some time you might move a little bit. However, if a mirror was placed in front of you, and you're asked to sit still, you could see yourself and you'd have direct feedback of what you were doing. So there's less likelihood that you're going to drop from the standard. You're more likely to stay still. In contrast, if you were put in a room and you were asked to sit down and not move, and you had a few drinks, you had a few beers or wines, then you're more likely to actually just start moving. People who are under the influence of alcohol have a greater tendency to do things that they would never usually do. And why is this? It's because they lack self-awareness. Nowadays there are more and more apps available to help us to monitor our own behavior. We can tell how many steps we've taken, how many calories we've consumed or burnt, how much money we've spent, how much time we've spent on social media. But there are no apps available to help us measure our emotions and our thinking. So we have to do this ourselves. We have to monitor ourselves. And the 8 limbs of yoga, the system of yoga, which includes concentration and meditation, allows us to do just that.